are so many things I wish I would have known when I first started podcasting. So many lessons learned and things that you really just can't understand or fully comprehend until you just do it. So today I wanted to share with you the top 5 mistakes that new podcasters make. So let's get right to it. Hey y'all, Krystal here today, and I wanted to talk to you about the top 5 mistakes I see new podcasters make all the time. I've done these myself, and I'm coming to you with a place of grace and with love and saying, look, I've done these things too, and I want you to learn from my mistakes. But now I'm fully immersed in the podcasting world as an educator and teaching people how to create better podcasts. So I want to make sure that you're not making these mistakes. So let's go through the 5 mistakes new podcasters make. Mistake number 1 is not planning ahead. Oh my gosh, and this is the one that will come back and bite you in the rear. If you do not plan ahead, then you're not gonna get ahead. Like, oh, it feels like a tough love thing to say, but it's so true. You have to plan ahead. I can remember back in the first few months of my podcast, sitting down and saying, okay, what am I gonna talk about this week? Okay, what am I going to talk about next? Like, it was one of those like Groundhog Day effects. Y'all know what I'm talking about, right? Where you're just like, oh my gosh. And it wasn't until I felt so overwhelmed, I thought about quitting. And oh, that just like breaks my podcaster's heart. Oh, it hurts so bad to even say that because I would just feel so stressed out. I didn't have enough content ideas. I was good. I already used my best content ideas. I don't know what I'm going to talk about next time. Okay. So here's how we remedy this. I'm going to challenge you to sit down and spend an entire day, if need be, planning your podcast content. That doesn't mean you have to plan a year at a time or even 6 months. I'm going to challenge you to come up with 5 months worth of content. And you're like, that sounds awfully close to 6 months. You just said you were going to make me do 6 months, but if you publish one podcast episode every single week, then 20 ideas is 5 months worth of content. See what I did there? So 20 ideas, that's all I'm asking you to do, to sit down and brainstorm and come up with some ideas. I actually have a great resource for you. I did a podcast episode titled 9 Ways to Brainstorm Podcast Content. And if you are struggling with what to say and when to say it and in what order, then I want you to go listen to this podcast episode from the Proffitt podcast because I really think it can help you come up with those 20 ideas in probably less than an hour. But if you're brand new to this, then I really want you to take some time and plan your episodes. So in the next 48 hours, this is a challenge. In the next 48 hours, I want you to come up with 20 podcast episodes. That doesn't mean you have to sit down and record 20 podcast ideas. Guys, I'm not asking you to do that. Just come up with the ideas. That's all I'm asking you to do. The point of this is I don't want you to be stressed out every single week. What am I supposed to talk about? I don't know what to talk about this week. I want this to be fun for you. And the way to make it fun is to have it planned out ahead because then you're not stressed out, you're not overwhelmed, and you don't burn out because, my friends, you have a plan. The second mistake that I see brand new podcasters make is they are reactive and not proactive. What does this mean? This kind of goes hand in hand with not planning ahead because if you are being reactive, then by definition, you are not being proactive and taking on problems as they come. I have a few examples of this. So let's say you are putting out content on a weekly basis, yet you sit down on a Monday and you say, what am I supposed to talk about? Boom, reactive. Then you sit down the next week and you say, what am I supposed to talk about? Boom, reactive. You are not being proactive in your podcast planning. Or you could just wake up and realize, I am not on top of everything. I don't have a handle on planning and recording and then editing and then uploading and then publishing and promoting, like everything. It's not fun anymore because you're reactive to everything. This is the quickest way to burn out and not do your podcast anymore because it's not fun. And like I said before, it just breaks my heart to hear people say podcasting is just not fun anymore and they just don't even want to do it. I think the reason why this hits me like just right in the heartstrings is because I've been there. I've been totally reactive and didn't have a plan in place, and I was just all over the place. Like, oh, I dropped the ball here, and then I forgot to mark it, and then I forgot to do this and do that, and I didn't follow up, and all the things. Like, I have been there. So I'm encouraging you to be proactive, create a plan. Going back to mistake number 1, I want you to create a plan. That way you know exactly what you need to be doing when you need to be doing it. So let's be proactive and not reactive. I'd love for you to comment below and tell me if you've ever felt overwhelmed in any part of the podcasting process. And if so, where? What part of it overwhelmed you? When did you start having that feeling of like, this just isn't fun anymore? Because I really want to know, because then I want to create more content to help you get over that. Like, let's walk through this together. And if you're still in the phase of feeling overwhelmed with your podcast, then don't worry, my friend. You are in the right place. Just stick here with me. Check out all the other videos that we have here about podcasting, and I want to help you out on your journey. Okay, let's get back to the top 5 mistakes new podcasters make. Mistake number 3 is comparison of your show to other more established shows. And this is a thing of shame for me, y'all, because I did that. Like, this is a real thing. I've done this, and I've talked to other podcasters who have done this. We sit back and we see these shows that have been around for decades. Like, they have been out there for more than 10 years. And we're just like, oh, well, I'm not to that 1 million download mark. I don't have thousands of listeners. And you're comparing yourself to these people that are more established, or they have a team of people behind them. I don't know about you, but you probably only have yourself and maybe one other person. Maybe you have a virtual assistant that's helping you, or maybe you have a marketing manager or a content manager, or if you're rolling solo, just like me, it's okay. It's okay, right? Because we can do this together. Like, I'm on your level. I'm here for you. I'm here to help you out and let you know that you don't need to compare yourself to anybody else, because you are on your journey. Only you can establish where you are and where you want to go, right? It does not matter where other people are in their journey, because all that matters is you are right where you need to be. I want to give you another message that comes from my heart. Give yourself grace. And I say this all the time, and a lot of people say, well, what does that even mean? It means give yourself the ability, the permission to not have a show that looks like a highly produced show that other people have. Like, if you don't have a $50,000 studio or an entire team of people or a completely seamless process, give yourself some grace. I actually have on a bracelet right now, and it says perfectly imperfect. And I love this bracelet because I'm reminded all the time that I don't have to live up to somebody else's expectation of what my podcast is going to be, because it's my podcast and everything happens over time. Y'all, I did not start this podcast and hit the top of the charts and go to #1 and get on all the things. Like, sponsors aren't banging on my door saying, I want to work with you. And if someone tells you that they are, maybe they're lying. Maybe they're not. Maybe that happens for some people, but that's not how it's happened for me. So I have to remind myself every single week to give myself some grace. I'm right where I need to be in my podcasting journey, and that is exactly what I'm going to tell you. Give yourself some grace. You are right where you need to be in your podcasting journey. Just one more quick note about that. You're going to get better. Every good thing happens with time. It takes time. It does. I could sit here and say there's a magic bullet, snap your fingers, and everything's going to be like, you're going to hit number 1 tomorrow. No, you get better over time. Just keep going, keep showing up, keep putting one foot in front of the other, and things will happen over time. But if you quit, if you get overwhelmed and you make all these other mistakes that I'm talking about, then you're going to get burned out and you're going to give up on podcasting. So give yourself some grace. You can do it. Mistake number 4 that I see brand new podcasters making is spending way too much time editing. Oh my gosh, this is one, I feel like this took off years of my life when I first started podcasting, because I would sit down to edit a 30-minute episode and I'd come up for air like 4 hours later and be like, oh my gosh, it's still not perfect. Please do not do this. Please do not do this. I have learned this lesson over time. I'm close to 100 episodes of my podcast now, and I'm just now realizing that you don't have to edit out every single little thing. Big mistakes? Yes. If you have a total brain fart in the middle of your podcast episode, then yeah, you probably want to edit that out. Maybe you want to leave it in there. I mean, you totally can if that's part of your personality and you're just trying to tell people who you are. But I suggest not being so critical with your editing. If you breathe into the microphone, guess what? That means you're human, okay? That means you're actually not a robot. So I don't believe you have to edit all of those out. If you say, or the word so, or okay, too much, it's okay, because that is actually how you talk. Think about it this way. If you are having a conversation with someone, they asked you a question, and you're answering their question in person, you're standing face to face with this person, and you said the word, would you say, oh, cut, sorry, bad conversation, let me walk out of the room, I'm gonna come back, and then I will start No, you don't do that. So don't do it with your podcast. It does not have to be this like perfection. Are you trying to win? I was thinking a Grammy. Is that the right thing? I don't even know. Like, you're probably not going to get a Grammy for your podcast episode anyway. But what I'm saying is it does not have to be perfect, right? Remember? Okay. Perfectly imperfect. That's what we're going for here. So don't spend so much time editing, again, because it will drive you crazy and you will feel overwhelmed, you will feel burned out, like all the things. This is a real thing because this is what I experienced. And it wasn't until I started giving myself grace and saying, it's okay if you mess up. It's okay if you breathe a little loudly every once in a while. And it is okay if you use the word every once in a while. Because you get better over time. Like, this is a recurring theme, right? You get better over time. So give yourself some grace, accept the fact that you're gonna get better. And the third thing is you can do this. You can do this. You don't have to be perfect. And mistake number 5 that I see new podcasters making most often is not promoting new content. Y'all, podcast marketing is my thing. It just makes me so freaking happy to talk about how my podcast can help other people. So it really pains me when people say, oh, well, I put my podcast out there, but it's out there. If you don't tell people that it is there, how are they going to find it? Do you think people sit around on their phone and they're just like, oh, I just would wish that this little birdie would fall out of the sky, land on my shoulder and say, hey, have you checked out this new content that Krystal put out? That's not how things happen, guys. You have to tell people when you put new content out. And there are so many ways that you can do this, but new podcasters, come in closely. Come in closely. No, closer, closer. You have to promote your stuff. You have to promote it. And that doesn't mean you have to walk around saying, I'm the best. Look at me. I have this podcast and I'm amazing. No, I see like my clients and my students struggle with this all the time. They're like, I don't want to be talking about myself. I don't want to feel salesy. Well, then we need to have a whole like other conversation in the first place, because your content should be adding value to your audience. You should be so dang proud of the content that you're creating that you cannot wait until a new episode comes out so you can tell other people about it. That is the type of content you need to be creating, because if you are not excited to talk about it, why would anybody else be? Why would anybody else care? If you're not creating that content to add value to your audience, then why would anybody be excited about it? I want you creating content that people get excited about and they cannot wait. Like they are waiting for that notification on their phone that says, "Ooh, new podcast episode is out today. You should go listen to it because you're subscribed to this show and you've already said that you're interested in it." People need to promote their stuff. Okay, sorry. I feel like I went on a tangent on that one, but here we go. Like that is the wrap on the top 5 mistakes new podcasters make. Y'all, I felt like this was like a tough love video, but if you enjoyed this, then give us a thumbs up and stay tuned for the next video where I'm going to talk about the ultimate podcast checklist. You do not want to miss this video because it's kind of amazing and I'm super excited to share this content with you. So be on the lookout for the next video. Be sure to subscribe below and hit that bell. That way you're notified every time we put out a brand new podcasting video every single Friday. And if you haven't already joined us, sign up for the 5-day free Create Your Podcast Bootcamp, where you're going to learn more about how to start, launch, and market your podcast. I also have some content planning tips and some other things that you can use to avoid some of the podcasting mistakes that we talked about today. But be sure to check out these videos right here, and I will see you in the next video. Remember, keep it up. We all have to start somewhere.